Welcome back to my third subscriber request review, and this week I'm going to be getting all Sabbath and Stoner and Doom and shit, as well as a healthy dosage of the Beatles, as I take a look at Mind Control by Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. Quick shout out to YouTuber012 who requested this album, and a fine one it is. There's a surprise. I think it's fair to say though that a lot of these requests are going to be for good albums, which is why people request them in the first place. If being controversial and saying negative things about bands for the sake of it is what gets you views, then I am more than happy to stay at the level I am. Fuck it, I'm not changing for anybody. Now, Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, or also known as Uncle Acid, are an Englandhamshire band. Again, I've been reviewing quite a few England bands lately, which has been quite nice actually. Bit xenophobic, are we? Englandhamshire band from Cambridge, and it seems to be the mastermind from a guy named Kevin Stars. The band started in 2009, and their sound has been I think I read somewhere, Wikipedia, that their sound is a mixture of, oh for fuck's sake, goddamn people, thought I got away. Their sound was a mixture of Black Sabbath, without a doubt, early Alice Cooper, and also the Stooges, all of which I can see in there, but I think they left out one particular omission, which was the Beatles. Although I have heard that actually might just be more for this album. I think they brought in a few more pop influences, if you can call it that, on this album. Because I haven't had a chance to check out some of their others, due to a huge corporation fucking up my order for their albums. Really going off the beaten path on this one. This is some exploratory shit. Yeah, I mentioned earlier the Beatles influence, which there definitely is on the more psychedelic side of things, and it's kind of very reminiscent of Lennon's vocals. A little more high-pitched than I was expecting, the vocals, but work very well. It's fair to say that they have a very 60s, early 70s sound, which they achieve by using vintage instruments and recording equipment, and a very pleasing sound it is. Now, on first listen to this album, it was the music that caught my attention, and very, very pleasing it was immediately. Anything that has a strong Black Sabbath meets psychedelic Beatles vibe to it immediately piques my interest and gets my vote. However, it wasn't until I started researching the album a little more, and more specifically the lyrics, that I realised the true genius within on this album. This is the band's third album, and it's a concept album. I'm just going to quickly read out something that was said. This is a concept album about a cult leader who comes down from the mountain and brainwashes his desert disciples through through drugs, love, violence and intimidation. Drugs. I have to say that this sort of thing is makes me really appreciate starting this channel in the first place, discovering new music and just really getting lost in it and loving it. And I think you can already tell I really enjoyed this one. Fucking great album. Just to quickly read out the band members, and then I'm going to get into some of the songs. So we got Kevin Stars, he's on vocals and lead guitar, but he also produced the album and did the artwork for it. So talented dude. We have Yotam Rubinger, who's also on vocals and guitar, Dean Miller on bass, and Thomas Moforth on drums. And I did what I knew I had to do. My country hurts me. My country is hurting me. I literally went through all of that shit because I saw people coming the other way. Oh God, gotta start dealing with things better, Ben. First up is Mount Abraxas, track 1 of the album. The Black Sabbath comparisons hit you immediately. No escaping them on this album. They wear their influences though on their sleeve pretty goddamn proudly. I don't think there's any fucking around with that. I think actually I believe they did actually support Sabbath as well on a leg of their farewell tour. That would have been a pretty goddamn good bill. Bill? Just some lyrics in this one. I'll show you God on the highest, up where no one can see, up where no one can find us but me. They don't know there's nothing up there at all. Yes, the cult leader descends from the mountain to start his conversion of his... Oh, fuck you! Yes, the cult leader descends from his mountain with the intent of getting his disciples and converting his slaves. This is a 7-minute song, with the last 4 minutes pretty much being a blissed out, fuzz distorted Sabbath worship, which is fucking fine by me. I couldn't actually find anything on this, but I'm assuming that Charles Manson and the Tate murders had a huge inspiration on this album. They must have done. You'll see that as I go through the story of the album. In fact, I think they're also, I think I did read somewhere they were also called the Sharon Tate Experience or something like that, one of their side names. Oh God, did you just make that up? I don't know. Next up is Mind Crawler, and this is much more laid back groove and very reminiscent of Cathedral, who are obviously disciples of Sabbath anyway. Who isn't? Can we just assume at this point that every single band I review is somehow inspired by Sabbath? Aren't we all? And our cult leader now knows that he has to recruit others. When I came down from the mountains, I had blood on my hands. When I came down from the mountain to cross the desert sands, and I knew just what I had to do. Yeah, he knew his mission, and he knew he had to recruit and get people on board. That desert feeling again, very much Charles Manson. Plenty of great riffs, psychedelic vibes, Lennon-esque vocals, and there's this real ding 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 ding, and there's this constant ride on a note on the piano, ding 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 ding, on this one that works really, really well. Why do you hate me, technology? I think it's high time I head back to the car as the chance of rain seems to be increasing. England, Hampshire, bank holiday, must rain. Next up is Poison Apple, and this has a riff that I could quite easily hear on a Kasabian album, mixed with Sabbath, of course. Really, really great use of psychedelic keyboards on this one. Just read out a couple of lyrics for you again. Oh God damn you, auto fucking... I'm the air you breathe, babe. I'm the sun. I'm the earth in your grave, and I'm the worm. Don't you worry, baby, you're safe with me. I'm the poison apple in your tree. So who would have thunk it, but it turns out this cult leader is actually a bit of a devious, manipulating bastard. Desert Ceremony is up next. Drummer Thomas Moforth really takes us through this song with the ride cymbal. That wasn't even slightly reminiscent of a ride cymbal, now was it? More Sabbath riffage, some tasty lead playing, and more from our cult leader. And when the circle starts to burn out on the highway, the highest priestess brings the urn. She knows her body will return. Up next is Evil Law, and this has a riff that I could have very, very easily seen on the latest Corrosion of Conformity album. Are you trying to promote the fact that you've already done a video for this? No. You gave me drugs and lies and programmed my mind. Now I'm a killer and they won't find. You need our love, our evil law. You're here to our program. I'm guessing this is from kind of from both sides, both the cultists and from the perspective of somebody who's been brainwashed into the group. I guess it could also apply to society in general as well, how we're programmed by politicians and the media and well, each other. Let's be honest, we're always very quick to pass the buck to how outside influences control us. Quite often the controlee be thee. Next up we have Death Valley Blues, and this is a very, very strong Beatles influence on this one, especially the intro. Clean psychedelic intro, clean guitars, clean vocals, Lennon-esque vocals again. And in this chapter the leader has assumed control. I know you know there's nowhere to go, your eyes deceive your mind, now you will do what you are told, always here with the thoughts you have sold me. And later, now you won't question my plan so quickly, I've got you in the palm of my hands. Next up we have Follow the Leader. Starts out with sitar and more Eastern flavoured music, far more Beatlesque than Sabbath again, and the leader directs his disciples. Tricky time is upon us, we tried but they didn't want us. You are the chosen few, time is here, you know what to do. Follow the leader, home. Valley of the Dolls is up next, and I do wonder if this one is actually more of a reference to the Tate murders. Fuzzed out Sabbath riffage, which is very reminiscent of War Pigs in that more drony vibrato style that Lord Iommi was responsible for. Fucking great solo on this one as well. Kevin Stars really does seem to be quite the talented guy. This is definitely one of those bands I'm gonna have to go and check out the rest of their discography. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. And then I sent them off in darkest danger night into the piggy trough, all dressed in vinyl white. Valley of the Dolls, Valium blood walls. Dark, fucking dark. And then we have the final track, Devil's Work. The intro to this song reminded me very much of Ephemerate, the Italian Doom Lords. Really like the heavy distorted bass that comes in throughout this song. Really slow, plodding and menacing. Some real, I really like the usage of old school drum fills. Some really nice riffage, and also some a really nice use of distorted bass on this track. Very much enjoyed it. Also in this track it had some more Pink Floyd inspired psychedelic guitar lines that worked really well. And in this one the leader cuts right to the chase. I'm the devil and I'm here to do the devil's work. This one slowly fades out over 3 minutes, and really, really atmospheric vibe on this one. And that concludes Mind Control by Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. I really, really enjoyed this one. This is an album that you can really get lost in. I'd like to thank 012 for pointing me in the direction of this album. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. This is what this channel is about. Discovering new music and appreciating music. I'm not here to slag stuff off. I love music and I want to enjoy it. And I want to share with you that joy. Next week's subscriber review is going to be Magma by Gojira, which was requested by Kyle J. Also next week I'm going to be having, I'm not sure at this point exactly what other albums are coming out next week, but I know for a fact that the new Eels album is coming out and I'm going to be doing a review of that. Like, subscribe, comment, share, notifications, you know the drill. Boom!